Welcome to the Rules DVD. In this DVD, I'm going to cover the essentials of what you need to know to trade the system. I'll cover long or buy trade rules, of which we have conservative and aggressive rules. Next, we'll look at the short or sell trade rules, of which we also have conservative and aggressive. In DVD 1, we covered the indicators. So now let's do a quick recap of the indicators and look at the system. This is the system as you're going to see it on your charts. All the indicators are here, everything is displayed, and it is arranged quite nicely. We're going to break them down. We're going to show you every single indicator and just briefly go over what they do. This is explained better in the previous DVD. The TRS, the time remaining spread. Now this gives us the time left until the current candle closes and what the spread is on that particular currency pair at any given time. If I switch back, the TRS is in the upper left-hand corner. It's the yellow line of text. It tells me how long until the current candle closes. And it tells me what the spread is on this particular currency pair. The heat map is a quick reference as to the order of the four indicators. In the upper right-hand corner, we have the heat map, and it shows the TBL, the TBM, the TBS, and the switch, and it gives us very quickly whether that indicator is long or short. In this case, the TBL, the TBS, and the switch are short, while the TBM is long. If they're short, they'll be red. If they're long, they'll be green. The TBS is the trend bias short, or the shorter term trend direction. On this image, the TBS is the line that hugs the price. We have the green line underneath the price, and we have the red line over top of the price. It is very close to the price, and this is the short-term trend bias. The TBM is the trend bias medium, or the medium-term trend bias. On this chart, that would be the dots. So you have the green dots underneath the price, and then the red dots over top of the price. We are going to use the TBM not only to determine the medium-term trend, but we're going to use the TBM to determine how we manage the trade. This is how we're going to trail our stop loss. The switch is a quick moving crossover indicator that displays an arrow on the chart. Now on the chart, you'll see that there are red arrows above the price at certain points, and then blue arrows underneath the price at other points. The switch is a very fast moving indicator, and it determines the change in the market direction very quickly. We cannot take a trade without the agreement of the switch. The TBL is the trend bias long, or the longer term trend direction. It's the direction that we're going to be trading. On this image, underneath the price chart, we have a string of red and green dots that are moving horizontally. If the dots are red, then we are looking only for sell trades. If the dots are green, then we're looking only for long trades, the long-term trend bias. The tetragram. Now, this is a histogram that combines four indicators into one, allowing us to see trade signals. Now, underneath the TBL on this image, we have a series of red, gray, and green vertical bars. That is the tetragram. And with this, we can determine very quickly whether we have an aggressive trade or a conservative trade signal. The arrows panel. Now, this is an arrangement of arrows alerting us to the current candle's indicator arrangement. We can trade using this information. Now, the arrows panel also has a pip value indicator to the left side. The arrows panel is underneath the tetragram, and this shows us exactly what the indicators are doing at this current time, right now. And in this instance, we can see that the TBL is short, or the long-term trend bias is down, and we're trading only sell trades. The TBM is up, which means the medium-term trend bias is underneath the current candle, so that the medium-term trend is up. The TBS and the switch are both down. Now we have higher time frame arrows as well. We're looking at the TBL and the TBM on the next higher time frame. This is going to come in handy for the traders that like to get that confirmation of the next higher time frame. We're not going to use this one a whole lot, but for traders that do like that confirmation, this is here for you. On the left-hand side of the arrows panel, you can see there is a lot size indicator. We can determine how much one lot of this particular currency pair is going to be worth. One lot, in this case, is going to be worth $7.90 per pip. Now we can change that. It doesn't have to be one lot. We're not always going to be trading one lot. You might be trading half a lot or 2.8 lots. You can make that adjustment in the system, and you can change the lot size to reflect what you're trading. And then finally, we have the market hours. Now this shows the periods of time that different major sessions are open for business. At the very bottom, we have horizontal, dark blue, light blue, green, dark red, and bright red. There are different sessions around the world. Because we're doing Forex trading, we are trading different countries' currencies. Now, one country's operational business hours are not the same as another country's. Every country operates from 8 till 5. But my 8 to 5 will be different than your 8 to 5, which will be different than Tokyo's 8 to 5, which will be different than London's 8 to 5. Those are the business hours. And the market that is open will have its particular currencies moving best. So during the US session, the US dollar is going to move quite well. During the London session, the pound and the euro, they're going to move quite well. So knowing what session you're in, knowing what currencies are going to move better than others is really handy when you're looking for a trade. So now let's move on to the rules of the Tradeonics system.